Wealth, yoga, wine. Welcome to my podcast. This is Valerie Hale. Many of you know I start my podcast saying wealth has nothing to do with money in the bank. It's a state of mind. This weekend, I attended Mary Morrissey's Dreambuilder Immersion program. It is quite an experience. This is actually my third time to attend her Dreambuilders program. What I love about this program is it reinforces what I'm already learning from her because I'm a Brave Master's Thinking student also. What I keep putting into my mind is that I am doing the possible, everything possible, well, almost. On a daily basis, I take action steps. And they're usually baby steps, but I am doing what is possible today to achieve my life that I would love to have. And it's the possible that I believe in, which 90% of the people I know will tell me it's impossible because of my age, because of I don't know what I'm doing, because this is the third business I will have started as an entrepreneur. When you work with Mary Morrissey or Bob Proctor, you will learn so much more than what many of the people know about achieving the life you really love. The takeaways for me from this 3-day immersion program, it's from her sons. She has 3 sons who are involved with her Brave Thinking Masters. Well, it's a huge conglomeration, if you ask me, a true family business. And they're all really funny. They all have their life experiences to share with you and to illustrate how this kind of thinking really does drive your goals to fruition. One of her sons, Rich Boggs, and I always want to call him Jack because one of the skits that he does is about a pirate back in the 1700s. He comes out on stage, he's dressed the part, he's so funny. I love to sail. I am a really good sailor. And so, of course, I fell in love with this whole skit anyway. But his whole dream, he's a pirate. He's been pillaging and burning and stealing his whole life. And he has a small, still voice in him that says, Jack, pursue your dream. It's really funny the way he says it. I'm not going to go down that road. The takeaway from his skit is stay the course. Yes, we're going to have storms. You don't think this pandemic isn't a tsunami? We're going to stay the course. We're going to find out what we really love because we have this opportunity. We're not driving like maniacs back and forth to work. Hopefully not. You can take some time, write down 10 or 20 things about what would you love to do. Only circle 2. And every day, if that means just doing some research or talking to somebody about it, but not getting their support because nobody understands a dream, that's a baby step you can take. So it's stay the course. Yes, we have so many challenges and so many storms that we're going through now. The other point that he makes is do it afraid. I'll give you an example. I taught myself how to podcast. It took 1.5 years. Thank you, pandemic. And I have 15 episodes out now. I'm really proud of myself. And I don't tell my friends because I know they're going to say, oh, poo-poo, who cares about wealth, yoga, wine? And I hesitated to send the link out and tell my Mary Morrissey colleagues about it. I was afraid of criticism. And Matt Boggs, her other son, says to us, you're afraid of criticism. And that's exactly what I was afraid of. So I just did it. I got up the second morning and I was up at 5:30 or 6. And by 7, I put it out there. 878 new subscribers, I hope. Anyway, but I got over it. And that's my point to you is do it afraid. stay the course. Those were the two takeaways. Well, there are lots, but those are the two main ones I'd like to share with you folks. And when you go to my website, chezvalerie.us, that's ChezValerie, chezvalerie.us, you can enroll in any of these. There are 3 programs on my website that are free. They're master classes. You're not going to be charged for anything. And they are portions of those I listen to all the time because I'm a student of Bob Proctor's and Mary Morrissey. So just go to the website. You can listen to these classes for free. Listen to them over and over again. It's the only way we learn things new is from repetition. Yoga. Kundalini yoga is the oldest yoga in the world. It's the only yoga I practice. I'm a yoga snob. We just went through the full moon, and for anyone who has worked in the hospitality industry, whether that be hotels, lodging, restaurants, bars, the full moon has a very significant impact, very noticeable. What I learned in Kundalini yoga, it's actually for 7 days. It's 3 days before the full moon. You have the full moon, and then you have 3 days after, which means we have crazy encounters for 7 days. And right now with the pandemic, there's crazy encounters every day, if you ask me. What's important about this, especially for women, is the full moon, it's feminine. It has a very feminine connotation to it and impact. There's certain kriyas that women want to do during the full moon that actually achieves our dream life, the life that we would love to have sooner. The whole idea of what I'm doing with this podcast is to improve people's lives. Quite honestly, in the quickest way possible, because I try to make it a short podcast. Everything on my website is free until you feel like you want to. I'm not a life consultant. I'm not a coach. I don't do any of that. But if you need wine consulting, special party planning, virtual wine tasting classes, then we get into, I don't know, $25 or something. Regardless, the point is with Kundalini yoga and studying with mentors, it will move you so much quicker to the life that you really would love to have. Therefore, it's important. Again, go to my website, chezvalerie.us. You'll see under yoga, Har Prakash. She is my New York teacher. I love her. And she does only virtual classes. Sign up and she'll be sending you emails on when she has her classes. She teaches every day. Wine. I talked last week about Spanish wines, and this week I'm also going to talk about Spanish wines because they are my second favorite. As I mentioned, the French wines unfortunately still have the double tariffs, so they are a little pricey. Rueda is a region, but it's also a white wine that we call in the industry, we may go into a store, go into a restaurant, look at the wine list, and specifically look for northern white Spanish wines. And the predominant white grape in Spain is Verdejo. I love Rueda because it's a great value, but it's unctuous. It's creamy, which means it goes really well with lobster. It goes really well with seafish goes really well with fish and seafood, but it goes really nice with your richer sauces like an Alfredo sauce. It goes great with risotto, and it's nice to have by itself. Rueda, that's the northern part of Spain, and I will share with you cooler climates impart more gentle flavors. For instance, Chablis, which is about northeast of Paris, much cooler climate, cold quite honestly, and so is Champagne. But the nuances of the flavors for me are much more enjoyable because they're not crazy like Australia and New Zealand, which have their places in the world of wine. But I do prefer climates which have a big impact on the way wines are going to taste. Merci et au revoir.